Viego jungle in gold versus Briar as we head towards the absolute final weeks of Season 13, January 8th to 7th or whatever, that's when the due date is for us. And, you know, no preseason this time, and obviously people aren't used to grinding at this particular stage, but those of you still in the game, still looking to get that peak, this is for you. Obviously we have the Hail of Blades, Briar, still solid as a build, but you know, the champion is really good up until Diamond. Beyond that, definitely falls off because people know how to play against it a lot more, and most Briars can't get away with psychopathic gameplay, but Viego is good at everything. So, we finish off the blue side and we cross over to 29. As most of you know, that's about 7 to 10 seconds slower than what you could accomplish finishing your blue side quadrant into the red. Briar is already on the blue, and you're like, wait a second, she's level 2, which means she did red, raptors, wolves, grump. Red, raptors, wolves, blue. And I hate this clear. This used to be a good clear. We didn't know as much as we do now. The jungle was very different than it used to be. Most notably, when we were doing this clear frequently, you know, we were still getting used to the fact that you could get level 3 from blue side, because in Season 9, you only got level 2 from blue side and level 3 from red side, right? So what this means is if you need to rotate to anything at this particular point in time, you're level 2. If someone invades you, you're level 2. You want to be level 3 in these moments. It's just so much more powerful. Who knew having an extra ability is powerful? Not me. Now you're on the Raptors, alright? Hui versus the Akali, doing the business in the mid lane. This champion is often very, very useless overall. Prestige Zyra skin, don't see that. Usually it's only me playing that skin, so that's nice to see. And we have the Rumble pushing in a Jax. See, this is where you have an Elise who does like a red side quadrant into a straight up invade dive on the Briar and the Jax. This is where these good plays are possible, so look for these things if you play something that can actually do this at level 3. Because even in gold, if you're able to do this, look up and be like, if you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching, coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's converting junglers to gold, to emerald, to diamond, to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle div every game you play, click the link below or head to virkayu.gg. I see something, and I know I can invade this person too, then those are plays you should try and make. I'm so excited, I want someone to do it, but obviously no one is going to do it here. Most likely the Briar is going to rotate to the top lane and kill the Rumble after a 5 camper, for which she used only one smite fortunately. Now Rumble is over pushing, and who could have foreseen these events? Flash, stun, should be an easy kill. There it is. Viego finishes the full clear at 330, nice and slow, and now he's pushed out of the lane. And this is why we like 5 campers. Not in a raw sense, but in a, hey, I'm not going to clear as fast as the enemy juggler, we're pathing in the same direction. Let me do 5 so I can gank the lane that's pushing, get that pry for the Scuttle Crab, and control the rivers. Huge. We used to do this in Season 10 because there used to be 2-minute spawn timers on these camps, right? So what would happen is you would full clear, Scuttle would spawn way earlier too, and then this would come up 15 seconds sooner than it does now. Think about that. So Nidleys and all those champions with high pressure could easily catch you off level 4, take double scuttles, get in your face, and so we would just 5 camp, right? Because with the sequencing was so quick, you could afford to cut out a camp, you know, from that spawn time sequence. But now, I don't like a 5 camper. Why would you go in? Firstly, yes, you're level 4 and she's level 3, but there's a Jax right above you. Secondly, it's still a Briar, so she's really, really strong level 3 and level 4, any level really, but she's a really strong early duelist. So we're not going for this at all, right? If I were the Briar, red, Krugs, wolves, or red Krugs, raptors into blue grump is better. You want to skip one of these 2 camps so that you have the respawn of the Krugs and the grump at high value, rather than taking the wolves and the raptors. So that's my 5 camp variation for Season 13. That's what I said over a year ago now in that video. Guys, do this. If you need tempo versus a full clearing jungler in the same direction to gank ahead of them, do a full clear where you cut out the raptors or the wolves and get the most value from Krugs and grump. It's in the video. You can look at the roots videos that I've put out in the last 2 roots videos. I covered this and I spoke about this. Now, because the Viego holds, he's late to this one. The Briar's not going to go for an invade. This is obvious. You know, like she's going to want to ward this and then go back to base or loop back down. But the Viego could easily be trapped here. She walks up, that's her mistake. She had the ability to ward over the wall and try and kill him, which she can do versus certain junglers. You ward over the wall, you know the Viego's coming down, right? Then you go in, and you kill him. The Viego does a smart thing of, hey, I've got a control ward because I know it's a possibility. Well done. Now, because of that, he is compromised just a little bit. Obviously, we know that Scuttle Crab is gone, guy. We know it. Because we see her, we know she did a 5 camp, but that's 20, 24, 28. We know she'll get 32 from this one. And we know then she'll obviously have 36 from there if she wants to go from this to this into this. Now, she says, let me go for Dragon. Is it weird I don't hate this? Is it actually weird that I don't hate this? I mean, I don't like it because it's way too risky. You've got no itemization. You haven't been back to base. Viego's still in the vicinity, but we do expect a Viego to potentially just keep sequencing. So maybe I can coin flip, a little bit coin flip, try and sneak this away because I don't anticipate him to come back down. Of course, bad pathing would get you caught out, which is why we don't necessarily always like this kind of play. But interesting. I don't hate the sneak. And that's because of Mundo I like to do it, right? Obviously, Force the Flash said that's great, but I'm not a huge fan of cutting back here from the Viego with the potential of losing topside. I like this play overall. I think it's a solid play overall. I think we're just too far behind where we need to be. And now what it does is opens us up to being counter jungled here by Graves, by Nidalee, even by Briars, yes, but mostly by those other champions. And the thing is, you could say, well, it's matchup dependent, right? Most people in Gold are not doing matchup dependent things. So we know she falls back from this. I could assume she does this, and rotates over. That's possible. So this is a good gank. But she could also just do this and kite up and ignore the Krugs. She could also do this, and just reset, and then go topside. She sees you, so she counter jungles you. Right? I don't like opening up myself to counter jungling, and so this gank is something I would go for sooner. But I don't hate the overarching principle of what he did here. Now, the Briar takes a dragon. She hasn't gone back to base at all, so we shove this wave out. We do like that as well. Carl is rotating down. Well, I guess running for her life and dying. Pay attention to this stuff. Viego. Base. Like, honestly, base. If you can do what he did here and get a Noon Quiver, even if it's a little delayed, go back to base, come out of base, go... Oh. Seriously. Because now you know the Briar took the dragon. He's like, oh, that's where she was. That's weird. Didn't expect that. But at the very least, I got a kill. We got some flashes. I can reset, get my Noon Quiver. Now I can host the top side. Invader, gank the Jax, do something mid lane. Herald's going to spawn shortly. I can spend some time here. And worst case scenario, if you can't for whatever reason, you can sequence down and repeat gank bottom lane and invade this and set yourself up for second dragon. So I don't like going over here, especially with Akali coming back. Like, don't touch that. Just leave it alone. Right? Briar now is doing the thing where she goes back to base and goes straight to the red side. Her Raptors have now respawned. We've now taken all of this. But now because she has more stuff in the bank in terms of cash monies, and she's level 6, you're going to go in this invade, down, gold. See? No flash, pushes. If she has smite, yeah. This is why we don't like this. Oh, right to the face. That's why we don't like this. That's why we don't like this. You don't have items, you're not peak, right? You're sequencing in the wrong direction. So now you're forced to come down this way. What if she goes back to base and doesn't go red and comes straight to the top side? This could happen sooner. And now there's a third Briar. So I'm not a huge fan of the early dragon sneaks always, but I kind of like the logic, if there was any. Maybe there wasn't, though. Who knows? It worked. Not the right way to justify it, but it's like, oh, I think Viego's going to be pathing up, so I guess I'll just do a dragon quickly. And I have made those plays. But you have to be ready to leave, fight, understand that they have items and you don't. It does require a more dynamic view of the game. But the Viego then stays out here, pushes, goes up here, telegraphs, comes down. Like, you're telling everyone what you're doing. Versus going back to base and now you have no idea what... They have no idea what you're doing. And that's more the issue. Is the Viego telegraphed what he was doing, and the Briar did a great job of cutting in before falling back to snack it. Now, she obviously should already be on that Herald, snacking that up. Let's see if she does. Kills for the Viego. I think we got a double here. Yes, sir. No flash. There we go. Now we have the Zyra, so we can use the E. Beautifully done. And one more. One for the album. She'll take this one, though. So, the Viego's now 2-on-1. That's good, right? That's, I suppose, a good thing. Briar's going to sneak this away. She walks over a ward that we kind of saw was placed. Doesn't matter. Misses a point-blank ultimate. You just got to wait for the stun from the Jax to throw your ult out, but we get the kill anyway. Now Viego's on the top side again. Compromised. Do I path up to hold? Do I go for dragon? Like, why did he go raptors here, right? What's the goal between... What's the goal for going... What's the goal? What's the goal of going raptors, red Krugs? You're going to be in the same situation where you're going to have to go down or go back into the river again. Path towards where you want to be. And if you need to do something first, cool, and then you can follow afterwards, right? Don't path in, outward all the time when you want to actually be going the other direction. Spaghetti pathing. Waste of time. The level 9 Jax with no mana. He's pushing waves. Like, now, if Akali or Rumble pushed up here, Jax TPs in and kills them, that's on you, right? And now there's a dragon with 585 gold. We've left the red and the Krugs on the map that we're just running down to contest this. It's really silly. You don't have Briar for it either. Like, what are you expecting to happen? Do not be this dragon obsessed. At all. Stop it. There's no reason to be doing this at all. Good run by the Rumble. Triple kills. And a dragon. Now, like, but there is a reason. If we can't results-base the bad stuff, you can't results-base the good stuff either. Hold the... Look. You come out of base, you want to go this way into cutting into this, obviously, right? You want to try and do something bottom lane first. You instead go to this, you hold this, you try to waste your time fighting Jax. Then you run across the map to contest this. Instead of controlling your camps in a logical way to get vision control, make the pick before the dragon, and then getting it very, very easily. Or at the very least, full sequencing, ganking bottom lane, shoving this out, and then taking this afterwards. The fact that you ran in here and had Rumble's presence of mind and ultimate to actually win the fight, and you just randomly coin flip success, does not make the decision good. Just keep that in mind. And of course, we're still dead, so. Gold, 5.2 to 4.4. 4.5. Right. Messy, 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 man. But we're taking too much from... Like, that's fine. But, like, overall, I think he's too obsessed with the waves. They nerfed that for a reason, and it's important to hold. It's important to push when you need to. But he's just doing a lot of drive-bys when you could just be doing your camps in the first place. Miss that W. Briar's going to be rotating. Akali's showing up. Like, he's just missing spells, mechanically. It's holding him back. Here we go. Got the WQ. Obviously have W2 as well as our E. Rumble is a very strong champion. I'm confused. Why would one Rumble go back in, and why would two Briar go in on the Akali? Calculated! These things are things that don't need to happen, guys. Viego is doing what? Who are you covering against? There's no one alive to cover against. Like, why are you here at all? Walking over vision. He's just, like, he's crossing the map for the most ludicrous plays. Kano, he's just pushing this out. His sequencing is compromised because he's worried way too much about the minions. Okay, and he's pushing his laners into weird positions. Like, why are we over-chasing? Basically, this is why you should stop vacuuming your eyes to random plays that make zero sense. Because you lose so much tempo, right? Like, it's absolute waffling. Now you're saying, well, don't you say waffling is like when you kind of waddle around, you don't really know what to do, so you stand still, like, do I go left, right, you keep swapping? And this guy is very committed to doing it. Committed randomness is still randomness. Because he's not really committed to the randomness. He's just committed to walking in a direction. He doesn't really know what he's going to do when he gets there. He doesn't know what he's going to do afterwards. And, you know, the Briar, while she also doesn't, is, you know, that's the same sin right there, right? She just walked in to a situation, was like, hey, and then she died. Both junglers are doing the same thing. And sometimes you will get a few kills and a few dragons that randomly walk out, and sometimes you will die and be 0-7-0. And that's what coin flipping and spaghetti jungling means. And obviously, you look at the Jax here. Our impact has not been that strong. You know? And again, like, we're just chasing kills around the map with no real flow. And it's a really fed Jax who's 3 levels up who's going to kill you. Kali gets a slow there. There we go. But, yeah. Not a fan of what I'm seeing overall. Briar goes to the top side to take that Herald. Or we have a dragon on the bottom side. Obviously, we've got low HP laners. We're now just going to run at the enemy team that has a Zyra who can just root, who was away. Zyra's like, you know, what if I just died? Like, the Viego dies as well, but, you know, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like, he just runs at the Zyra, and she's like, well, I'm going to stun you and kill you. And he's like, yeah, let me just scratch my nose. Yeah, but you're dead. And then he dies. Like, oh, how can you kill me? It's really just such a nonchalant way of inting. Weak champ, according to some people. Weak champ, and obviously this is still strong because they keep nerfing the wrong things entirely. If you nerf the wrong things 4 patches in a row, the champ kit is shit. The design is shit. If you nerf the wrong things and you keep enabling the thing you're trying to nerf, something's inherently wrong about the champion design. She's just going to be a low elo stat checker because her stat checking is still too high overall. And next season's items are going to be interesting to see how it goes, but she's up 2 levels now, same CS, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Like, look at this, now she has a full advantage, so Viego should have not have been playing into her hands. And there we go, well played. Woof. And now it's, yeah, see, this is why she dies in low elo, because people don't know to stop, or just not overcommit. Well, you know, ain't no different to anybody else doing the same exact thing. This is why gold junglers can't climb to platinum, because they don't know how to look at anything but one thing. That's a terrible title, but you know what I mean, right? They see one singular thing and they chase after it no matter what. They don't think about consequences. You've got to jungle while thinking about consequences. You've got to jungle thinking about other moves that you're going to make afterwards. There's nothing to analyze at this particular point because it's like, ooh, monkey see banana and goes and eats it, right? Or in my case, in a field trip in South Africa, ooh, monkey sees open door because roommate left it open. Let me play with the toilet paper and unroll it everywhere in the house. Who needs Halloween when you got baboons? Let me tell you that much. That's a real trick or treat. Anyway, so we leave the base 455, you know, Briar 744, and gold amount now is 1,300 gold lead to the Briar. That is a 1,300 needless to large rod, battlefield sword, big fucking sword, BF sword. You know, these things add up in raw amounts. And while Rumble is strong, very few can handle the Briar at the moment. And now we're again pushing top lane for zero reason, fighting a guy 3 levels up on us instead of controlling our jungle camps. But Virkayu, how do we win when all lanes lose? Glad you asked. Main channel. Guide yesterday. How to carry when all lanes lose. But that was high elo. And what do you think is going to change if a challenger player in low elo has the same situation? You're going to do the same exact thing, right? Most likely be even further ahead at the end of it. The things that allow you to win when all losing lanes are occurring in high elo are the things that allow you to win when all losing lanes occur in low elo, in mid MMR. It's not different, right? It's not different. This Jax is different though. Look at this. It takes you so long to kill him. Kai'Sa's splitting for this. They're pushing this one. It's just a slow bleed. And that's not a pun for the Briar. It just really is. Also, please remember, as Viego or any assassin against mages, you win. You should almost always win. But not if you throw yourself at them the whole game and they're fed. You're just going to get disengaged, right? Like you're going to run at them, they're just going to press CC spells, slowing spells, and you're not going to get them. You got to flank, you got to find better angles. You got to be really smooth with your damage. You got to smite and flash abilities that are going to stun you. You can't get stunned, right? Especially when you're building like this and you're really squishy. And he's just not doing any of those things. So Briar shows up here with her team. Go for a free Baron because Viego's dead. Ezreal tries. Viego's now rotating, level 12. Jax goes in because Viego was dead, so he has to walk all the way over here. He's out of position. The Zyra does the ult, which is a nice zoning tool. They get the kill. Viego goes in the back line. Much better versus Zyra. See that from the back line? Nice flank. And now we can try and do things. Obviously, we do miss our spell, sorry. Kills the Kai'Sa, and now kills the Zyra. But even though he dies here, that was a better angle of approach. That was better. Kill their 2 backliners, And now if your team can deal with their frontliners because the game is more equal, that's how you win. But they're down 10,000 gold. So if he just did that the whole game with that in mind, he'd be in a pretty good spot. Take inhib, everybody respawns. Yeah, you know, sometimes there's a lot of juice in the theory that we can discuss, and sometimes it's behavioral, and sometimes it's mental, and sometimes it's about motivations, and sometimes it's about mechanics. There's always different things to look at in a coaching video. You know, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes 30 minutes, sometimes it takes 10 minutes. It's really just about finding what is most important to you as a jungler. The problem is he wasted his W. You know, and now he's again over chasing, and Zyra shows up to protect. Same thing over and over again, and from this they will lose yet another dragon. And it doesn't matter that the blue team is also disjointed, right? Look at the base. Jax is so fat. And as I said, when you force a Jax to base, push a wave into him that when he has TP, he just catches that whole wave. Like, he doesn't have to step up to a freeze. He gets to freeze. Like, you pushing waves out to people that have TP gives them huge advantages when your teammates can't step up to fight them. And now they get zoned out of a whole wave or two, and the Jax just gets free 20 CS, you know? It's you've got to track these things as a jungler when you impact lanes. Like, this was the worst possible thing I've seen in a while in terms of just driving by lanes for zero reason with no farming and ganking balance. So now he looks at his CS and he thinks, aha, but Briar's up 2 levels. And she says, what if I go in? He uses his ult to avoid that E. Rumble's looking for the flank. They can hold here fine, because they'll overcommit. They shouldn't be doing this. You should have Jax on the top side here. You should have everyone else pushing this one. There's no reason to bum rush mid lane. Just 1, 0, 4, right? 0 mid lane, because the waves will push anyway. 1 top lane, the Jax, and everyone else on the bottom lane. And shove that sucker up. Now, as always, Briar goes way too deep. Dies because she's full squish. Carly's in the back line killing everybody else, if you didn't notice. Viego's like, guys, I'm helping. Gets a shutdown and a kill. Guys, look, I'm on the team. And they hold. Bless them. Now they push. But what they do is they overpush, most likely. Let's see. Okay, she dies. Yep. Guys, you got no Nexus turret. Jax has TP. You need to push this out to a degree. Control all your camps, get deep vision. Give up a dragon, give up the Baron. You can't contest these things. Try make a pick and just hold. As hard as you can, you just got to hold and sit in that base. You cannot at all push all the way down and die because it just reverse push you. See what happens. Rumble did it. He will be up. You have to try and wave close best you can. But I think they just... See, at this point, now you can run because they do have numbers advantage. And now you can do it because everyone's on the same page and the Rumble is dead. And now they don't have the numbers to actually win the fight. Now Rumble's available, and now they're just going to quickly hit the Nexus, hit the Nexus, hit the Nexus. Briar's like, I don't want to do that. I don't know why. There we go. And they win. So really, really scrappy, messy game. Lacking true fundamentals of the jungle. Not understanding a lot about what we do. Just playing Viego emotionally. Same with the Briar. So Virkayu.gg for the jungle theory that you need for your games to reach your peak before the end of Season 13. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.